Hello and welcome. This is Diana and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be for Life Path 33 and it's for the sign of Taurus. Oh, I don't know, but I just felt like I ran a mile and I did not. So, I mean, maybe that is, yeah, it's maybe that's something that like you're kind of like reevaluating or re-honoring, or it's like the sweetness of what alignment is, right? The awakening to the inner spirit, the awakening to choosing actively like your own timeline. Um, yeah, it's kind of like this. It's like the activation of like the truthful warrior. It's not the peaceful warrior, right? It's the you coming into like your own divinity of what it means to defend your truth. Like it's almost like you're the only one who can wield the sword of justice, if that makes sense. It's kind of like it's embedded, Taurus, in your soul. It's the alignment of divine truth, not the manipulation of the false narrative of what truth is, right? It's not the manipulation of like a woke agenda. It's like you authentically standing in God's light and being the peaceful warrior. It's like your wings. If you've yet to discover your wings, we're going to just reactivate the inner wings. You're either going to have 2, 4, or 6. For those of you that are relevant, you could very well have tattoos of wings on your body somewhere. It's kind of like a curtain call, and it's like your alignment for finding others that are just like you. Um, and it could have been like this long, arduous journey that you've been on. They said a different deck. In regards to like the planning, in regards to the identification of like what is your authenticity, what is your actual truth. Like some of you may have gone looking for a sword, right? Like I have a friend who is a collector of swords, and again with the hermit, man. And it could very well have been a very long journey. It's for you to develop your skills, for you to develop your own truth, for you to experience like what belongs to me, what belongs to another, how do I maneuver in this reality, right? Um, it's checking your blind spot. Who has your 6? Who is an honest assessment of like who literally has you or who has been impeding you in the background. It's kind of like no more are you, mm, they just said you're no longer flirting with the truth. Like the truth is the truth. And everything else outside of the truth is a lie. And it's like there will be a rectification in regards to a planetary cleanse. It's almost like I'm seeing like and maybe this comes through in your mind's eye. Maybe you've actually also seen this. So this could be confirmation for you. There's going to be like a pulse that's going to ripple through the grid system, that is going to just take all these demonic entities that are hurting kids or hurting other people or, they're fighting against the truth. It's like that false narrative, pretending to be good while they're stealing behind your back, right in front of your face, right? It's like whatever you've been in like deep meditation for, there is this combat that is happening that is going to be, it's some kind of a gateway through music, through metaphysics, that is going to, yeah, you could very well be playing with like teleportation, understanding like your grid system, understanding group consciousness, working with like sonar. It's like recalibrating your inner sonar, your inner belief. Yeah, it's like it's huge, and it's going to put you in it's like this Like you could very well have been sitting and waiting for an elongated period of time because you quite we're not quite sure of who was telling the truth. Like it's almost like your discernment had been impeded by the people that you had around you, if that makes sense, right? And what's happening is with this new moon, you are coming into your own gifts. Like you could be seeing 555 absolutely everywhere. You could be doing magic mushrooms, right? Um, Creating that like theta state of being. Um, and understanding you could be also dreaming. I'll never forget. So they're showing me like I had a dream because I'm in the bay that the bay flooded, right? And there was water absolutely everywhere. And it was an unnerving sight. It was absolutely earth rattling. And you could very well be getting this disturbance. Like there is going to be some kind of catastrophic tidal wave, right? Or some kind of an impediment. And the biggest thing is like put it on your heart that God show you how to save your people, right? And then not to live in fear, but to be steadfast. Maybe you need to actually fast. And identify the past lives where you picked up, like, I mean, you could very well be identifying like Atlantis triggers, right? When Atlantis flooded and the water receded over. Actually, it combusted, but that's besides the point. Um, you could also be getting triggered through a counterpart. And remember, like, in the end, our over souls are one. Mm, the monad is one, right? And you could very well be like, again, I'm being reminded, this card is reminding me of the Native American perspective that every spirit, everything has its own spirit, own energy frequency. And so possibly like through your tap into mushrooms, like you are kind of recalibrating, mm, understanding like what it is. It's kind of like that preparation prior to like the activation of like, I don't want to say war, but it's like getting it's the inner warrior within you being prepared for battle. Um yeah, and it's that opening that you are in frequency alignment to the highest timeline. So although there is a reflection of a lower paradigm currently unfolding within the collective consciousness, understand that those are the reactionary periods of what has been done in the past, right? All the shit that's been coming out in the news and coming out in like clips and YouTube and all that stuff, those are all products of what we've allowed to happen up to this point. And the fact is that there is a clean and clear, decisive action to change within the collective consciousness, where all of us rise up and say no more. No more toxicity, no more impeding of little kids, no more of demonic forces, no more low vibrational people or energies, right? It's time for us to get out of the 3D and step into the 4D consciousness, right? We are not in the heart center continuously. We are constantly being bombarded and pulled down to a lower vibrational frequency. And so as you're checking like the parts of you that have been essentially continually on defense or continually revisiting past lives and old wounds, it's honoring the frequencies of those that have been part of the collective consciousness that have come before us, right? It's the honoring of that journey that they have not. Yeah, there's something with this 111 because they've said it twice now. That is, it is shifting the vibrational frequency of what it means to be in alignment. Um, the threads of connection, the divinity of the mother, maiden, crone, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, right? It's the honoring of the journey, to understanding the different soul fragmentations that you have been integrating within your soul, your society. I don't know. Maybe you will be covered with rain, and bless that rain, bless the transmutation of releasing any lower vibrational frequencies. You could very well have a sore throat, due to an unexpressed feeling that you have yet to speak about, right? And that's that inner Kali energy. Remember, she is a blessing, and man, if you piss her off, she can be your worst curse. And it's that vibrational frequency of walking within divine light, right in the middle area, because you are as much light as you are dark. If you have Kali as one of your guides, there can very well be a third eye awakening. There can also be an activation of Kuan Yin energy, is what they're telling me. And it's understanding the law of choice. We can choose to create and express ourselves in positive or in a negative polarity. Who are you choosing to show up to as today, right? You are who you say you are. And so honor your journey, honor your truths, honor your understanding of spiritual warfare, your spiritual, maybe you want to work with Angel Razel, and bring your esoteric old knowledge forward, right? Because that's the thing that so many people don't quite understand about 33s. Your book, your Akashic record, is bigger than anybody else's on the planet, right? And you have the ability to access every single lifetime, every single lesson. You have the ability to access every single gift that you've ever had. Even if, say, in this lifetime, you're only able to house a handful of gifts because of the DNA that you decided to choose in this lifetime. And I tell you what, like, I've met so many 33s that are RH negative, and those access points help you get into a state where you have foresight, where you have the ability to heal, where you have the ability of transmutation, where you are truly a magical creator in this manifestation of, like, reincarnation, right? Understanding that you've been all things in all other lifetimes, but actively having a divine connection to the creator, and asking for that harmonious vibrational frequency of alignment, right? It's like you've got the assignment, like you've been writing shit down, like you literally have been joyfully being in a state of reflexivity. I don't even know if that's a fucking word, but that's what I hear. And it's really like you stepping into a oneness. You are all things, and we all are here to have a human experience, but you also understand the NPCs that are here to create chaos and confusion, right? That are operating out of a lower paradigm and operating out of an impediment to help hurt God's people, right? There is obviously a spiritual uprising that is taking place in this reality. And it's really, this is Saul's conversation, right? The way God kind of opened up the portal of consciousness and allowed him to hear the voice of God of, why have you been persecuting your connection to the creator, right? And it's kind of wild because, like, on this is also like, it's Paul the apostle, right? And Paul was the one who was at one point in time crucifying Jews, and Christians, and he essentially, was enlightened and was saved and baptized and then gave his life to God, right? And he followed Jesus through that process. And it says, at once I began to preach in the synagogues that Jesus is the Son of God, right? And it's kind of like those that stand against God currently will understand and be impacted because there's a soul awakening. And for those areas where it looks to be like there is no God, the apostles will rise out of those frequencies. Those that are meant for something far greater than what they've experienced up to this point, that have felt persecuted by the NPCs, your activation of truth will then come into alignment with like your divine purpose, with your soul's essence. Like you're going to understand specifically what they're just kind of showing me like what persecution looks like how it's how to love thy neighbor. And I don't know what that equivalates to you. And it could very well feel very discombobulated, because however you're operating in truth, like God is calling you to also activate in divine faith. It's like this, it's a victorious energy. It's a amplification of a divine perspective. It's like honoring the word, and the word honors you. I don't know. You could very well be seeing 14, 4, 144, 414. That's going to be a confirmation for somebody. 111, 112, 55, 711, 711, 11. And they just said get a card of okay, advice. Yeah, just advice. Oh, okay, I'll keep that one, I guess. It says do not mistake sensory overload for true love. And again, it's identifying that they may feel like soul family, but they could very well be karmic attachments. Really getting into a state where you are aligned with your higher, and they said provisionary. I don't know what that is. If you do, you're welcome to put it in the context or in provisionary. Some kind of beneficiary, something. Yeah. Oh, sorry. There's a belief system. By walking your life's journey, you are, dismantling a false belief system. It goes back to that, like holding the threads of truth. And somebody could be trying to get in, or being obnoxious, and or getting into your field, right? And as you're trying to align with the creator energy, is there? Yeah, this is the last one. Okay. It says you exist in infinity beyond this universe, right? And so like, for those that are RH negative, like you very well could have a divine connection to the Pleiades or Sirius, the dog star, right? And so understanding like where your soul's essence has been or likes to call home, right? You could very well be an angelic energy. But it's kind of like through whatever recalibration of like releasing these false narratives that have been placed on your shoulders, like identify your shoulders and release all of that excess energy, right? Anything that has been impeding or blocking your energy or your powers, or your meridian lines or like your chakra systems, right? Because remember in the back, those are going to be old connections that we've brought in from past lives. If you're not actively charging your kidneys and calling all of your energy soul fragments back to you, that is something that you really need to start doing on a regular basis. Healing your past wounds and traumas. Journaling is the best way for you to get into a frequency. And I'm getting like, obviously you've been doing it, but you could also have like fat fingers, right? Like you could be feeling like you're not necessarily holding on to the pencil or the things that you should be doing. And that can be disillusionary, or a false reality, right? Like to where you're like, whoa, am I making this stuff up, or is this actually like coming from the creator? Like, and that's where your understanding of discernment, or the what is coming up, or the what you've been repeating, has coming into play. I'm going to get something for your gifts of what you need to be working on. Yeah, so some of you out there are psychic mediums, and it's psychically connecting to the spiritual world, angels, spirits, or the dead. For those of you that are brand new and just awakening, I would suggest working with angelic. Call for 100% white light, and set that intention that if they're not of God, that you don't fuck with them. And anything of a lower vibration, remember, if it's talking to you negatively, if it's trying to keep you in a lower state of being, those are all demonic lower energies or souls that had bodies that are no longer having bodies. They're just feeding on your body. They're feeding on your energy source. If you have bursts of emotions, understand it, see it, claim it, and cut those swords. I'm going to leave that there. If something in this happens to resonate with you, please give it a thumbs up, and comment if you enjoy it. And if you would like a reading or a healing, all of the information is below. As I say always, I am a healer. I am here to be a transmuter. I see it, I feel it, and I remove the shit. God has granted me a lot of different things. And if you are in a state where you have had disturbance, where your peace has been disturbed, where you have had a form of separation, if those are created by a Leviathan, or a Jezebel, or what are they called? Sirens? A siren has like impeded or like connected into your solar plex. Just identify and see it and say, you got to go. I see you, I feel you, and you can no longer be in my space. You have to go now. And we name it and we claim it in the name of the one creator, in the Christ consciousness, and you have to go, for that is a child of God, of the Most High, right? And you literally allow yourself to breathe in, and as you exhale, you fully release your field, allowing yourself to get recalibrated in. And they're saying that I want you to pull in violet flame, and allow your third eye and your heart chakra to recalibrate to your highest and best good. Even if you haven't been operating out of that frequency, we ask that it be raised to the point of the highest timeline, right? And it's time for your gifts to expand and come online fully. If you do not know how to work with your gifts, I am actually starting programs where we will be exploring those things. Just email me your information. When I get enough people, I will launch the program. And all the information is on the website, which is listed below. Taurus, I hope that you feel good. Hope that you feel more connected into your body, that you feel a little bit lighter, that you feel a little bit brighter, and that you understand that you are here for something far greater than what you can even consume or understand. It is time for the rectification and the amplification of God's chosen to step into place. You name it, you claim it, and you continue to align with your highest timeline and watch your shift happen. If there's anything attached into the liver or into the solar plex, you are required to exit now. I'm not asking you, I am telling you. Archangel Raphael, please come in and remove that entity attachment. Break all ties, all tethers, all impediments, all hooks, all lures. You are required to exit. Arane Sakashi. Torene kesa na eran osene shite. And it is so. Be well until next time. So mote be.